What's up, y'all? Before the video starts, I wanted to thank y'all for the support on the last video, and sorry it's taken me so long to make this one. My schedule's been kind of wonky for the last few months, but I'm back now, so you guys should see more videos from me on the way. Well, that's all the hot air I have to spew out. Other than that, let's get back to the video. We're back with episode 3! Yes! What's up, y'all? It's Gojo, and welcome back to Animated Character Creation in WARFRAME! God, it feels so good to say that again. We're doing it just like last time, but with one new addition added. So if you didn't see the last 2 videos, there's a playlist on my channel. But now we have the new addition of the wheel. What's up, y'all? So this is the wheel, the glorious wheel. We praise it. And these are all the characters that y'all have recommended for ACCW. Let's get it. Oh my god. Well, we gotta. I personally didn't expect that we'd get Gojo this soon, but it's how it is. As usual, we're basing it off of 3 things: appearance, hit relation, and any other abilities that were similar. And at the end, I'll give my personal ratings of the build. Make sure y'all like, sub, and comment any other characters you want me to put on the wheel. Also, we have to give the wheel a name, so comment what you guys think the wheel should be called. I'll pick the most liked one and pin it. But with all that out of the way, it's good to be back. How y'all doing today? My plan is, I plan on getting Nova, but just base Nova, because right now I am not really trying to grind for Nova Prime and stay in trade chat for a million years. So we're just gonna do base Nova. Nova is pretty simple to get. All you really need to do is go to Europa and beat the Raptor boss over and over again until you get all the parts. Wow, that was easy. I think I have all the parts. Well, that was easy. I had actually grinded for 2 Novas, one for the wall fleshlight and one for the build itself. Now that that's all finished, it's time for the real shit. Alright, first part completed. Now all we need is second part. Whilst I was build crafting and leveling though, I saw something on the pause menu. Oh shit. Fuck it. We run it. Oh, endurance? Word? Alright, this build's kind of made for that. Oh, I'm not on a time limit either. Alright, life is good. Endurance. Fuckers said endurance and didn't realize I do endurance runs. Well, oh, we got another round. Alright, we're good. Let's go, man. MR22, baby. After leveling up everything and getting it all together, we were finally ready to make the look of the build. Finally, after 10 billion years of leveling, I finally fucking got it. Jesus Christ. Compared to actually getting the frame, the actual hard part was the look of the build. I didn't really know if I wanted to do the black or the white as the main color scheme, but I decided to choose the white. Me personally, I thought it would fit better with the white because I could just say it's the white blindfold instead of a black one. I also decided to do a hint of navy or like purplish because the school uniform is kind of that color, maybe more purple than anything, but still. For the main body, I decided to use the device skin, and then for the helmet, I decided to use the fusion helmet because it kind of looks like the blindfold. The second decision I had to make was what energy color I wanted it to be, because originally I wanted it to be all purple, but the only problem with that is Gojo's abilities are blue and red, so I decided to make the energy color purple and blue because that looked really pretty and would still fit with the general look of the build. And I can make one of the weapons his red ability. Speaking of weapons, I'm only using 2 this time. The first one being the Felarx, because that's the one I colored all red. Because the incarnate form looks very similar to what a red would look like. Finally decided to use a category that doesn't get used a lot. Fist weapons. Reason being, because of the racism combo that Gojo put on Miguel. I had a choice though. I was either going to use the Tekko Prime or the Hirudo. I decided to go with the Hirudo. 1, because the Hirudo is pretty easy to get, and 2, because of the passive. And yes, I already know the passive is not that good, shut up. But maybe in the future, I might update the build and use the Tekko instead. But with the look all finished, it was finally time to show off the finished product.
先生とどっちが強い？そうだね。力のすべてを取り戻したスクナならちょっとしんどいかな。負けちゃう？勝つさ。
Now then, with the look all finished and done, we can actually get to the build part. How this works is we're going to go down the list, starting off with Nova. Let's talk about the abilities and what they're a reference to. I personally see Null Star as Gojo's Infinity because it gives you damage reduction, and Infinity's whole thing is not hitting the person. Next, I have her Antimatter Drop, her second ability, as Hollow Purple, because, you know, big ball of energy, you know. I then subsumed Zephyr's ability to represent the blue. I finally have Molecular Prime as the There we go, thank you. Now for the mods. I used Prime Flow, Streamline, and Arcane Energize for energy needs. I used Blind Range to get my strength up on some of my abilities. I used Prime Continuity to make my abilities last longer. I used Overextended to make my abilities go way further, and then Rolling Guard to deal with all those heavy hitting status effects. And finally, 2 augments, Neutron Star and Molecular Fusion, that work in tandem with each other. With that done, here's the Farlex build. This build mainly focusing on things that do with ammo, like the maximum amount and reload speed, then focusing on multi-shot, raw damage, and a lot of statuses. Mainly, this build takes advantage of this incarnate path, giving you 2000% damage on non-critical hits. And finally, the Hirudo. Overall, for a crit combo weapon, it's pretty standard. The only change I really made was having heal return, because once you hit 12 times on your combo multiplier with Weeping Wounds, you'll probably be getting quite a lot of healing. You could also make it a reference to Reverse Curse technique, but with that long ass explanation out of the way, it's game time. Let me actually try and do it with just my voice. Yoichi Tenkai. Holy shit. Now that that's all done, let's get to the rating. You're better than this. Deserve more. Encore. Give them encore. You can't be gone for this long and only give them 1. Lock the fuck in. As you can see, my little surprise here is we're going to be making 2 builds instead of 1. Yes! 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 But first, we need to go to the wheel to see which character we're making. See what we get, see what we get, see what we get, see what we get, see what we get. Oh! Yes! Let's go! Absolutely. Fuck yeah. To be real with you guys, I was really excited for this one because as you could tell by the mask that I wear, I'm a very big fan of Bleach. And Ichigo is one of my favorite characters. We're doing Ichigo Kurosaki, and this one is going to be a little bit different because I don't have to grind for anything this time because I already have all the stuff. You'll see what I mean once I actually start making it. This build was pretty easy to put together. I already had the first component of the build, which was Excalibur Umbra. The only problem I had was picking which form of Ichigo I wanted to use. I ended up deciding to go for the merged hollow Ichigo form. One, because I really like the color palette, and two, I think it would fit way better with the horns. I also tried to get in his hair, but the orange wouldn't really work with the color scheme, so I just stuck with the black, white, and red. For the main skin, I wanted to use the Zato Excalibur skin for the helmet and the body, because I thought it looked really similar to Ichigo's robe or Shihakusho. I also added some little attachments, and then the Grim Grin Nabber sigil, it being a reference to the Soul Reaper symbol, and his combat pass. Next thing is the weapons. Well, more like weapon. Since Ichigo has a big ass sword, I had to go with the heavy blade category. And mine of choice was the Gram. One, because the Gram itself does pretty good damage. And then two, all I need to do was just slap on the Dominion skin. And after that, it was all good.
Should be drinking no lean, I'm already half dead. Give a fuck, I'm a gangsta. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
When it comes to modding, because of recent events that involve exalted weapons, I decided to make this build a exalted weapon focused build, mainly focusing on Excalibur's 4, which is his exalted blade, or a better term to call it, his Bonkai. And just like in the show, it's meant to be spammed. I used slash dash as the flash step, I used war cry as the hollowed Ichigo scream, I used radial javelin as that in-between state of Bonkai and actually gaining the power. This build is a very odd one, using 3 different augments. Chromatic Blade to give it another status to proc, and for more status effect. Furious Javelin to give my melee weapons a really strong buff. And finally, Eternal War to keep the buff up that will give me attack speed, an armor increase, and to slow down the initial enemies that come at me. I then used Swift Momentum as my aura mod, because I wanted to try out some other aura mods instead of Steel Charge or Corrosive Projection. I used Umbral Intensify, Warrior's Rest, and Augur Secrets to give me more strength. I used Umbral Fiber to give me more armor, and to also increase the value of Umbral Intensify. I then used Prime Continuity for more duration, and then finally Adaptation for a little bit more survivability. The arcanes I use are Arcane Energize for energy generation, and Arcane Reaper for that little more survivability. And now for the weapon builds. I'm going to do these both at the same time because they're relatively pretty simple. The Exalted weapon mainly focuses on status, healing, and proccing melee influence, giving it that continuous room clearing potential. And then the Grand Prime mainly focuses on slash and viral, crit, and ramping up for that Tennokai heavy attack. Now that that's all done, it's now time for my favorite part. Bonkai. No way! Bonkai. Bonkai. Now it's actually time for the rating. Or a better way to say it is ratings, because I'll be rating both the builds this time. We're rating them on 3 Fs: fashion, function, and fun. Fashion being how close is it to the actual character I was going for, and how well everything looks in combination with their abilities. Function being how well does the build play and how well it scales to endgame content. And then fun, meaning is the gameplay fun and is the gameplay loop actually enjoyable. Keep in mind from what I said before, the fun rating is usually going to be from an 8 to 10 scale, because if I didn't make it fun, I wouldn't be making the video. But now then, here's the rating. For function, I'm going to give Gojo an 8 out of 10, and for the Ichigo build, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. For the Gojo one, it basically already plays like base Nova, and base Nova is already really strong. And then just giving it a grouping tool makes it even stronger because of the hollow purple. And on top of that, it also has really good crowd control with the domain expansion, and also has DR. But the only thing it somewhat lacks is a little bit of survivability, because sometimes acolytes can hit real hard all at once, so it kind of hurts the health. But the damage is pretty good for really large groups. Now for Ichigo, I think the problem was more or less the survivability, because originally going off of health survivability is kind of hard, and especially going for armor is kind of not the best survivability tool. But with Ichigo, there's a lot of ways you could take this build, so switch it up if you can. I definitely think I could have changed the subsume ability instead of Warcry to maybe Roar, or maybe instead of War, keep the main ability and change Slash Dash to Wrathful Advance. But definitely try and do some testing. I'll definitely see if I can change it up. But now for the fashion. For Gojo, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, and then for Ichigo, a really good 9 out of 10. It was kind of hard to pull off with Gojo because they didn't have the exact same body shape, you know, Nova and Gojo, so I had to get pretty creative, especially with the main body. But the idle animation, magnifique, other than the grimoire that comes out. But other than that, it's pretty decent. But the Ichigo one, on the other hand, ooh, that goes hard. I didn't really need to get a lot for it, but god damn does it look so close to Ichigo's final form. And the little skull on the chest looks so good as the combat pass. Even the Exalted weapon looks pretty close to Ichigo's first Bonkai. And to be honest with you, not trying to be biased here, but this is probably my favorite fashion in the entire series we've had so far. It could be because it's one of my favorite animes, but it also could be just because it looks really similar and it looks really good. But now, with the final rating being fun, I'm going to give Gojo a 9 out of 10, and then I'm going to give Ichigo an 8. For Gojo, I will say I thought his was way more fun because you had a lot of things you can do and buttons you had to press all at once. One of my favorite techs was to use the hollow purple and then use the Haruto and then just kept punching it, and then once it got in front of somebody, it would just explode. And then for Ichigo, I gave it an 8 because yes, it was fun, and it was fun to see all the numbers on the screen, but the only problem with it is it's just swinging a sword over and over and over again, and not very like engaging with like the gameplay, but still fun regardless. I will say though, those gram hits on heavy attacks, ooh, they hit hard. But still, one button gameplay isn't really my style. But with that all done, the overall rating is an 8 for Gojo and a 7.5 for Ichigo. With all that done, I just wanted to say thank y'all for watching. This is one of the longer videos I've made, so if you made it all the way here, leave a like, sub if you want to, and comment any of the characters you want to see in the next episode. If you don't, I'll get you. I'm just kidding. See y'all later. I wanted to take this time to thank my artist Venti. He makes all my art, including my character and my stills for me, so I just wanted to say thank you to him. This channel literally wouldn't be anything without him. So go follow his Tumblr down in the description.